One of the questions that many leaders have today is how do you keep a culture alive in today's world? Like when people do not come to the office. One of the things that we know creates culture, it's group habit, right? So when we look at culture, we look at what do we do as a company, what do we value, the activities we have, the habits we have, the behaviors we have, and that's kind of creating the company culture. So when you look at company culture, it was very easy for leaders before to kind of model the behavior that they want to see in their people. What I mean by that is, I give you an example of a time that I was team leader of a team of engineers, and in our work we had kind of we work with cars, right? We had prototype vehicles that we were testing and tuning, and much of our work was done in workshops, right? So when we were in the workshop area, we had to wear safety shoes, right? So maybe something falls on our feet, and we don't want anyone to be hurt, right? And so in to that respect, we had rules, right? In the workshop area, you should wear safety shoes, right? In the office area, you could wear your normal shoes. So one of the things that I learned worked well with my team was that every time I was in the workshop area, although I might not, even handle things that could hurt me, I still wear my shoes, because every time I wear my shoes, I gave the example to my team, right, that they should wear their shoes too. And also when I saw someone that maybe didn't wear their shoes, and I could just maybe, you know, um, get their attention and say, well, hey, this is for your safety, right? And they couldn't tell me, well, but you're not wearing them, right? So I learned that worked very well. So leading by example, right, if you like. Now, how do you lead by example in today's world, right? How do people model your behavior if they don't see you, right? We have this saying, people do what people see, right? So what do your team sees today? What do they see? How do you stay in touch with them? Do they see your, pictures of you and your family being out, having fun, or what do they see on your social media? Because that becomes, a communication channel. So many leaders try to keep this apart. You say, okay, my social media and my Facebook account, that's private, right? That's not for business. But I think they're missing a point there, because if you're not seeing your employees right now and they don't see you because you're not meeting in an office, and you just maybe join um, a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting, and they keep their camera off, you don't even see them. You don't even know what they're doing, right? So how can they model your behavior? How can they model the company values, and how could you keep those values and behaviors alive when people don't see each other? So I believe as leaders, we need to find new communication channels to stay in touch with our teams. And I believe social media is one of them. So, ask yourself, what do your team sees on social media? What message are you sending to your team? I think that's a really good question for many leaders to ask.